Welcome to Awakening 101. I'm Jeremiah, and this
is Chaz Romeo.
This is Chaz. What? Today, we're talking about something no one has ever talked about in the history of ever.
Oh shit, electrons not being real?
No, I'm sure people have already covered that. We're talking about JP Morgan and how he is behind everything.
He's behind a lot of shit.
Wait, didn't we do a video about him recently?
Kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
We talked a little bit about him. We gave a briefing of some things about him. And he shows up in all our conversations anyways.
He literally is everywhere, isn't he?
Every time we have a conversation, listen, I'll probably bring up JP Morgan. He shows up in everything. Even when I think he's alive, he's actually dead. He's still showing up in shit.
And he's still showing up.
I really thought he was doing stuff until 1930 to find out he'd already been dead for like 20 years. You know, it's like, wait, what? Son of a bitch, dude. What the hell's been going on?
Welcome to Awakening 101. All right. Cool your jets.
They know I fucked.
Cool your jets out there.
Effed up.
Welcome back to another episode. This is a good one. This is what everyone has been waiting for and asking for. Actually, 0 people have asked for this, but we're going to give it to you.
That's true. I don't think anybody's asked for this.
Literally, no one cares about JP Morgan, but guess what?
I do.
He has been everywhere.
There's a reason I care about him. He was already there.
He was already there.
He was already there.
You heard it here first. Chaz, what do you know about JP Morgan? What does mainstream know about JP Morgan? He's a bank. It's a bank. It's a bank.
I'd say the mainstream take is that he was a robber baron from the Gilded Age of the late 1800s, and he made most of his money off of banking and investments. He was Nikola Tesla's first backer, and he then unbacked him when he realized that Tesla could do free power.
That's rude.
And then he went with Edison after that to create our modern power grid. He created the power grid. He owned the ocean liner that owned the Titanic. He helped create and found the Federal Reserve, which controls all the financial system globally. He owned railroads. He owned banking. I know there's more.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
And he died in Rome near the Vatican.
In 1913. 1 year after the Titanic sank to the bottom of whatever ocean we call the bottom of the ocean.
What ocean was it? Do you know?
The Indian.
Damn.
Was it? Where was it?
No, I was wrong. It's the Atlantic.
That's what I said.
He did.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard. Rewind it. I dare you. Rewind it. Yeah.
Literally said the Atlantic.
You don't believe me? Fucking comment about it. I'll debate you over it.
All right. We talked about JP Morgan a little bit. Let's talk about him some more a bit.
Yeah, and some of that I didn't even know. I didn't know he owned the Titanic. I didn't know he died in 1913. I didn't know he was being investigated multiple times for just suspicious shit.
And suspicious shit that he was actually doing.
Yeah.
Yet being investigated about and never convicted of any of it. How did he get away with everything?
I like that they're investigating him for like financial manipulation at the same time he's creating the Federal Reserve Central Bank.
Just like right there in your face.
Yeah.
And yet, no, you're good.
Yeah. And there's a famous book on this one called The Creature from Jekyll Island.
Oh, have you read it?
I've read parts of it, not the whole thing. My dad has been wanting me to read the whole thing. And it is a good book. It really does highlight a lot of the ideas that Jekyll Island is an island off of Georgia on the Atlantic coast. And it's called Jekyll Island. And a bunch of billionaires back in the day had homes there. And they had a home there that JP Morgan and a bunch of other bankers, a lot of Zionists actually, but that's a story for another day, met there to create the Federal Reserve.
How many people you think met there for that?
Like 6, 7, 8, something like that. I have a list of them. I have the pictures and names and everything who met that day. And the people who were in... See, the thing is that we had already tried to do a central bank 2 or 3 times in our American history. And all the times that we had tried, Congress had denied all of them or shut them all down after a short period of time.
Why would they shut them down?
Too much centralized power. And it was too much manipulation could go on. The 1800s, they actually tried to be governmentally honest.
It sounds like they had an idea of what would happen if...
Correct. And they didn't like the idea of the government having that much central power. That was a lot of the early founding fathers, the Federalists versus the Anti-Federalists, people who wanted more centralized power versus the ones who wanted more state dispersed power. And so JP Morgan realized, we get this Federal Reserve, we get the central bank, we control the interest rates, you control the monetary system, and now you can control everything.
And literally everything.
Literally everything. So he was very integral into the development of that behind the scenes, you know. And so all the people who were coming over here to try to stop that from happening, you know, the big billionaire players of the day trying to anti JP Morgan, they all died on the Titanic.
I thought they had like a private yacht coming over here. What the heck?
No, they didn't have yachts back then, I guess. And number two, that was like the ship. That was the first,
unsinkable.
The unsinkable, first class, world class type, just luxury.
I've seen a movie on it.
That's
Jack and Rose.
the most. I guess that movie made more money than any other movie until that dude turned around and came back on himself.
Who came on his back? What?
He came on his own back.
That's impressive.
Dude, it was really. James Cameron. James Cameron made Titanic. That was had over $1 billion. It was the highest grossing movie of all time. Turns around, and the only movie to overtake it is
his movie, The Avatar. I bet. Not the Airbender. That's the blue people.
The blue, Smurf movie. And so,
yes.
Yeah. And so he ends up becoming the next one after. You know, it's like, yeah.
Effing James Cameron.
Yeah, dude.
Good job, bro.
Yeah,
you really have put out some creative work.
Yo, and like Titanic and Avatar, how different are those?
Dude, I actually look at them as like a sequel of each other.
You know what?
It's hard to deny.
Inspiring. Inspiring.
Heartwarming. Worming? Heartwarming. Same thing.
Can't do this with you anymore. I think I'm quitting.
Yeah, me too. This is...
So, long story short, they all died on the Titanic. JP Morgan was supposed to be on the Titanic. He ended up canceling those plans. Legend goes that he was supposed to bring the binoculars with him. Clearly, he didn't go, so no binoculars. After he stopped backing Tesla got a new backer. That backer was on the Titanic and died.
As well as a whole bunch of other people that were important, like the 6 to 8 people you were just talking about?
No. Those are the guys that were trying to help him do it. There were a group of guys coming over to stop it.
Wait, so guys that were going to try to help him do it died on the Titanic too?
No, they didn't die.
Yeah.
Those were all the guys from Jekyll Island. They all met at Jekyll Island.
Okay, so they were not on the Titanic?
None of his guys ever died on the Titanic. Only his... Everybody who died on there, as far as I've ever known, now I could be wrong, sure. There's 1,500 people who died on that damn thing. But as far as I know, everybody who died was an enemy of him. Nobody was a friend of his.
If you could take out a whole bunch of your enemies at the same time, how would you do it?
And like the challenge to that theory in my head goes, how do you pull that off? How do you do that?
Money?
Was it a bomb that went off and it never actually got scraped, even though we've seen the wreckage now and found it, and it does look like it got scraped by an iceberg? So, like, how did he do that? Did he really just not give them binoculars and send them out in the ice-infested waters and said, fuck it?
Right. It depends. Was the course the same course? Did the course get, changed out of nowhere?
You know what? I need to look more into that, and I actually wonder if this actually writes about it.
Because what if, they decide to take a faster route?
Well, I think there's something to that, that they went through waters that were known to be infested with icebergs. They shouldn't have taken that route. They should have taken a different route that other boats were honestly taking, and they had been told by radio that night, watch out, a lot of icebergs.
Yeah, we'll be good. It's unsinkable.
Yes. That's the funny part to me is like, it's like I'm pretty sure this is the only boat that's ever been deemed unsinkable, and then turned around and became the only boat that didn't have required amount of lifeboats for all the passengers because they never thought they would need them. And that's the only one that then sinks and everybody dies from it.
Wow.
And it's JP Morgan involved.
And he didn't get on?
And he didn't get on. He owned it. Who decided that they were that safe that they didn't need the regulations of the boats? Probably the company that built it.
Yep. They're like, yeah, this is brilliant.
Yeah, guys, we
Work
don't.
of art.
Look, guys, we're steel. We're unsinkable. We don't need that shit.
Chaz, you know what a better question is? What year did they decide and deem that boat unsinkable? How many years prior to this whole situation? Because that's going to put a timestamp on like, how long have they been planning this situation to happen? Was it like in a couple months before the boat went out, they deemed it unsinkable? Was it years before?
I wonder. He was scheduled to be on the boat, right? And it makes you wonder, did he not plan this until the moment, that time, that day or whatever, he's like, oh shit, everybody's on this boat that I don't want.
Like it was a coincidence that happened and he was like, I'm going to take advantage of this.
That's like the deeper conspiracy of JP Morgan and that aspect of like how deep it goes between him stopping Tesla and free energy in the electrical grid. And so like really all of the electrical bullshit we deal with that I complain about all the time is really foundationally from him.
Yeah.
You know, and so like that's part of him, the Titanic crashing and all of that. We have the school system and the whole factory model and ringing of the bell and kind of how it's like periodic, periods that you go and, all the kind of he had a lot to do with that foundational, mentality of industrialization. And a lot of those guys, the Rockefellers and Carnegies, but JP Morgan absolutely played into that, so it's hard not, I need to look deeper into when he did it and what they were doing and why it was happening. But I know he was meeting with the Vatican. He dies in Rome.
What's in Rome?
Not the Vatican.
The sovereign nation?
I've tried to link him to the Smithsonian. I can't do it yet. I haven't been able to pull that one off.
Link JP Morgan to the Smithsonian?
Yeah, I thought maybe he was on the board at some point in time or something, but I just... it's a lot of where the Smithsonian starts to kick on and become corrupt is about the time JP Morgan dies. So I think they just timing didn't match for that one on him.
Since we're in the topic of him, and his death date, how do you think he died? Why was he in Rome when he died? What?
I got to look this up because I didn't know he died in 1913. That's wild to me. I really thought he lived longer than that.
Especially since we hear the name JP Morgan so strongly.
Yeah, and it's coming because he named the company JP Morgan. And so the company itself became corrupted, has conspiracies, and it made his name even more infamous. And it almost shields the bank from any problems in conspiracy themselves because everybody just turned to JP Morgan, but not JP Morgan Company.
How would it shield?
So they can do things on the behalf of the companies alluding into conspiracies, but people will only read about JP Morgan. They just read JP Morgan. They don't realize they're saying the company JP Morgan because they're one and the same in naming. So if JP Morgan, the company, were to do something and everybody just says JP Morgan did this, give it 100 years, we're all just going to be like, yo, that dude's everywhere.
When did JP Morgan become an entity?
Ooh, that was late 1800s. I think it was late 1800s. I think it was
he became a company.
Mm-hmm. That's when he started his first company, a banking company, JP Morgan. Like that's when it all kind of started. Was late 1800s.
I mean, because he was born in what, 1836 or something?
1837.
God, I was so off.
30 something like that.
I was trying to decide who he got the idea of becoming his own entity from, and I was like, Vatican kind of became its own entity. And I was like, you want to become your own entity? And then we'll you off, and
he was like, guys, y'all need to become a nation. Y'all need to start doing shit. And they were like, why don't you come die here? And he was like, yeah, I think I will.
And maybe he became a secret cardinal.
Here's all my money.
And he actually never died. I wonder how he died. Knife to the chest? Or
I'm gonna start looking that up. I'm starting to put together as I read through this and tell them little briefings on topics so that we have more information automatically from it. And so I'm going to look up real quickly to see Where's his death? It's hard to tell which one it is. Is this one it? Nope. Oh, there's the formation of J.P. Morgan. 1871 was the formation of the company. And then where is it about him dying? Not in this one. So let's go over to the other one. Yo. Can you just exit out of that, please? I would very much like that. Let's do history and conspiracies. And we got J.P. Morgan's death. Morgan dies in Rome, leaving behind a legacy of finance and raising questions about his global influence. So let's go check on that now. Hopefully I can get like faster at this, you know?
Well, there's like 1,000 pages.
I gotta make it easier. Death of J.P. Morgan. I gotta make it easier to like roam around and organize it better.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm getting it. We'll get there. Shut your mouth. Shut up. You shush. So, on March 31st, 1913, Rome, the world's financial titan J.P. Morgan dies far from home. Newspapers across continents sound the news. The man who tamed Wall Street and steered America through panics is gone.
Oh, thank goodness for J.P. Morgan.
But as the shock fades, the world starts to wonder what secrets and deals died with him. Where did Morgan's influence end? And what would fill the void? The end of his era didn't silence speculation. Was he a stabilizing force or a puppet master pulling hidden strings?
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so Morgan's passing, suspicious. Morgan's death marked. Are you not going to tell me?
His passing is suspicious. Is that what it just said?
Suspicious in conspiracy theories swirled around the extent of Morgan's control.
Oh.
There was no scientific experiment, but Morgan's intricate network of banks, railroads, and trusts were dissected in news reports and official hearings after his death, as governments and the public alike tried to map his true reach. They're trying to blame everything on him. When he died suddenly in Rome.
But not suspiciously, just suddenly.
No, just suddenly. Yeah, dude, it's not telling me. I don't like that. I'm going to have to make sure it tells me next time. Let me look this up real quick because I actually have to know. How did the J.P. Morgan asshole die? I need internet. He died at the Gasparilla Hotel in Boca Grande, Florida. Whoa. Are you seeing this?
So what is this?
Dude, is his death a conspiracy? The fuck am I looking at? Is one a senior and one a junior? But this one, wait, what? Dude, tell me. He suffered a stroke in this one, yet he dies in his sleep in this one.
Who are we talking about? Is this the same person?
This one, all right. On Wikipedia, it says Morgan died in Rome, Italy, in his sleep in 1913 at the age of 75, leaving all of it of his son, J.P. Morgan Jr.
That died in 43?
Let's see. We got to figure this out because that's... Yeah, okay. So J.P. Morgan Jr. dies of a stroke in 1943 in Boca Grande at 75.
So I would assume J.P. Morgan Jr. took over everything?
Correct.
Whenever he passed?
It looks like he inherited everything. So maybe... Oh my God. I'm going to have to look into the son now. I have to look into this, the Father, the Son, and the company.
The Father, the Son, and then the Holy Spirit. Jesus Christ.
Because if they're all the same name, where you Google it and you get the Father, and the Son named the Father. He didn't say Junior. You saw that, right? Like it never said Junior the first time.
No.
It just claimed he was J.P. Morgan. you've already muddied the waters then. And then the company is starting to get involved in all these like scandals and shit. That name is more infamous than he actually was.
There's 3 JP Morgans roaming around at
There
that
are
point.
3 JP Morgans all roaming around in some capacity at time.
Dude, they're becoming their own entity. Like they already are, but like they sound like a miniature Vatican.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like he never did die and he just kept living on in different personas of the same name.
Again, that's exactly what the Vatican has
Yeah.
done for thousands of years.
It's just this is weird. Okay. That's creepy. I thought this was all just JP Morgan himself. I'm starting to come to this conclusion that yeah, he was the founder and foundation, but his company and therefore his son, who was the runner of the company, would be the next one in line to now be investigated on what shady shit were you doing that I've been blaming on your dad this whole time.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's really your fucking ass I should have been investigating. Thank you, AI. You helped me narrow that down, actually. I never would have guessed that until I saw the breakdown and saw that he died. Therefore, he couldn't have done all of these things. This right here is exactly why I wanted to do this. It helps just clean up that narrative going on of like, I couldn't have known that because you go Google it and it will tell you something different for the same name, inherently fucking everything up.
Yeah, easily. And when people Google that, if you told someone JP Morgan died in 1913 and someone's like, no, he didn't, I'm going to go Google that. They're going to Google it and it's going to pull up 43. They'll be like, see, JP Morgan died in 1943.
Yo, if you did that live with me in person, I'd look at you and say, well, shit, I guess I'm fucking wrong. I'd be like shocked. At the same time, I wouldn't, because before tonight, I would have said, yeah, that sounds right. I thought he did die in 40-something or 30-something. That's when I thought he died. It was his son. His son really is just as much a part of this. And I didn't know it because he hid behind, he never said Junior.
What, was he just in the shadows the whole time?
He knew his dad was so famous that his name was being overshadowed by his dad. Therefore, he could hide behind the infamous father, doing whatever he wanted as his father.
Oh, how did he die? A stroke?
A stroke. Which, I feel like in the 40s, everybody's dying of strokes. He died of a stroke. A president, then 2 years later, would have died of a stroke.
Which president?
FDR.
Well, that was an assassination for sure.
It might have been. It's like, dude, you've been president for 12 years. We're done with this.
Oh, yeah, it's that president.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. This is the one that went on for 4 terms, and it's
Like,
the only one. The only president to not do 2 terms.
And then they're like, yeah, not
Yeah,
good.
all right, we'll make a damn law about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another story for another day. I thought that he really was around longer, so we're going to have to do a follow-up on this episode now, inherently. The episode helped us uncover that we need another episode.
Literally.
Because I got to go look into JP Morgan Jr. and the company, but really Junior. I need to go see what the hell that dude's been doing.
There's so many more things that, like, 20 more doors just open.
For sure.
Like, wait a second.
Yeah, no, it's not jiving anymore because the legacy of what I've been seeing and reading about JP Morgan is so integral to it in the 20s and 30s. But he has been dead. So who have I been reading about?
So JP Morgan Jr. killed Tesla?
That would have been the same. I think Tesla outlived him. I think Tesla was like 44.
Okay,
So technically he would have outlived. I don't think they wanted to kill Tesla for a while.
I guess, canceled him.
They wanted to keep a close eye on him while he continues to uncover all the shit they didn't know how to uncover. All the shit we do as a government today, in my head, was started because of him. We just took all his shit. And then we're like, hey, let's go find some like super genius Nazis and have them take over all of this. You know, and like all the main experiments that were going on, like the Philadelphia experiment. If you've ever heard of that one, where in the 1940s, the Navy was trying to create a like an invisible shield around their boats. And so they had JP Morgan. They had Tesla come in this is where the conspiracy kind of comes in. Okay. This isn't really proven, and they don't really like to acknowledge this one because there's some weird shit on this one. But also, by the way, Montauk seems to show back up. And I'll explain in a second. They apparently tried to create a giant electromagnetic field around the boat. Okay. But when they did this, a little too powerful, apparently, they time warped the fucking boat to, I want to say it was like in like the 80s. Like they went from the 40s to the 80s. Like they went into the future, right? And they wind up, one of the guys says that he winds up on the shore hundreds of miles south at Montauk, where in the 80s, when this would have been happening, he got picked up where they knew he was already going to be there. And he got taken in, and then they told him he needed to go back. He claims that he was interrogated, briefed, whatever, and then he was told that he had to go back, and that they knew they were like waiting for him apparently at the beach or some shit. So like, and this is right around the Montauk Project where remote viewing and all that's going on. So I think there was some tapping into that. And then you talk about like looking into the future and the past. So they probably would have known this was going on, blah, blah, blah. And now the darker part of this is that when the boat came back, okay, they claim that there were people in the walls, just like coming out of the walls, because when everything rematerialized, they were where the walls should have been, and they just became part of the wall. And it was apparently like the most chaotic scene ever. They essentially removed all documentation that had ever existed and ever happened, and just fucking never did that again.
That's some science fiction BS right there.
I don't know.
I've ever heard.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what went on, but like, I do believe something happened.
No, I mean, all of that sounds very plausible and totally doable. With them doing it then, kind of mind-blowing. But yeah, no, absolutely. Especially them not doing the math properly and getting stuck in walls. Yeah, absolutely. If you're not aware of how that stuff works, you're going to get stuck in things.
Theory goes Tesla bailed on the project before they ran it because he wasn't comfortable with it anymore. That's theory. You know, it's all fringe anyway, so it's not like I can prove any of this shit at the moment. But like, that's what is said. Now, this would have been right around his death. You know, this would have been happening like 41, 42, 43. He died in 44-ish range. So like, this is right around the death of him. Why did they kill? I do think they killed him. He died. So? He died of like a heart problem that is very common in these situations where they just give you something and your heart stops, kind of a thing, and there's no trace of it. There was evidence in whistleblowers that it came out and wrote about and talked about that they were pretty certain that the FBI showed up that week and were in a room the whole time down the hall waiting for him to die.
Suspicious?
Donald Trump's uncle is the one who went to go investigate the trunks and all of the information and take it all.
It's
Donald
so
Trump's
weird
uncle.
To correlate
Donald Trump's
present time and that time, but like they really weren't that wasn't that long ago.
No, it's his uncle. Not like his grandfather or his father. I guess it's the level of his father because they would have been the same age because his uncle would have been like a brother. But like, this isn't like a super long time ago, man. This is just right around the corner.
Literally.
Right around. But Donald Trump's tied to that. They took a bunch of trunks. We know this. He talked about how many trunks he labeled them. There's a ton of them missing. And a bunch of them are now over in another country over in Europe. I forgot where. And
there's no way they stopped tinkering with this project, right?
What project?
The one where they
the Philadelphia
time
project?
Traveled.
No, I think that only spawned. That was the Navy. We need to keep in mind that in the 40s, the CIA really hadn't truly got going yet.
I wonder if that spawned.
The FBI was just really taking off, and the Navy at the time was really, because the Navy is like the oldest. Like one of the Army and the Navy are the two oldest
Right, because
branches.
I mean we've been on the water for a while.
Yeah, we've had to have a Navy since day one.
Yeah.
So the Navy was actually doing. They were the first to do weather experiments, controlling weather. Navy.
Controlling weather?
Yes, controlling weather was known and documented and started by them. And in fact, their documents even say we quit doing it because we believe we've been killing people.
What do you mean? Like
They
creating storms?
Yeah, I mean, like they wrote about this, man. This isn't like you can go look up these documents for it or whatever. This will be part of our Patreon giveaway. But they go into this kind of study. It's like, hey, we've been manipulating hurricanes off the coast of Florida and the Atlantic, and we believe that, and they had a strict guideline on which ones they were allowed to even go test on based on, hey, we don't want that thing turning and coming back into land 10 times stronger. So ultimately what happened was it turned, came back, fucking wiped out some shit, killed a bunch of people, and they literally said, we can't prove we did it, but we also can't disprove it, and we're abandoning this whole thing. We're abandoning the whole fucking thing because we believe we are able to do it, and we believe we've killed people doing it.
What year?
This would have been 40s.
Oh my God, they were controlling weather.
Yeah.
Almost 100 years ago.
40s and 50s, they were heavy on this. Heavy. They never stopped doing it.
Yeah, and we act like it's like we just decided it was a thing recently.
Yeah, when the hurricane came through with the whole, North Carolina shit, that sparked, well, if everybody's saying we're not doing it, we don't weather control, we've never done that. Well, that went into the dive. Let's go find out what I can kind of see about this. And immediately saw just open documents from the Navy saying we've been doing this since the 40s and 50s. It's proven we can do it. We know exactly how to do it science-wise. Here's how, and we think we were killing people. We stopped doing it.
They're like, they looked at that. They're like, that's exactly what we need right now.
Yeah.
So let's set that baby loose.
Can we do that?
Yeah, let's who's brilliant around here? Someone help us with this.
Who wrote this paper?
Yeah.
Find this man. We need him. Find him.
Time travel if you have to, at any cost.
Yes. Philadelphia experiment.
Here we go. Oh, I'm stuck in a wall. Someone help.
Did he blow like that too?
It's the last breath.
It's like a fly on him all the time.
The slow death in the wall, the fly land.
Not the fly.
Dude, dive bombers.
And like his little arm.
I can't reach.
So horrible. So terrible. Don't worry, because it never happens. All conspiracy anyway. So
all of it.
Yeah, I mean, you could go down those roads forever. JP Morgan, I would say, is not necessarily tied to a lot of this off the top of my head, but now I would say that that's all up in the air. I need to find out what the junior's been doing.
Big J.
So Big J is probably all around the 30s. Now, is there a junior?
Dude, right. I mean, I would assume his lineage didn't stop at junior. Junior.
And so who?
Junior, senior, junior.
Juniors. Oh.
Junior, senior.
No, because like Kennedys. You go look at the lineage of the Kennedys and you start seeing some weird shit. You're like, oh, wow, his dad was a bootlegger in the 1920s and was essentially a fucking mafia gangster type guy who made illegal money. All the Kennedys' money came from illegal bootlegging. Then they turned around and they became legal through politics, and you have the Kennedys now. But they started as like a Al Capone bootlegger. Like he's more of like a gangster than anything who made all his money legally.
Oh, man.
And the next thing you know, we've got one is a president and then another one's about to be a president. Both got CIA'd, but that's another story for another day.
There's a reason they hide everything for us. The more we go down the rabbit hole of like all the things that people have done and been a part of and this and that, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
How deep does it go?
Deeper than we know.
This is where, at some point, I stopped and said, I have proven too many lies. Now I have to question everything.
Yes.
If you're willing to lie about all the things I'm seeing you are lying about, oh, shit, you are clearly lying about way more.
And you will lie about anything to get your way.
Yes.
You big baby.
You'll kill, steal, lie, cheat, whatever you want. It's the same as the patents. They have the law on the books that says if we want your patent, it is automatically ours and there's nothing you can do about it.
Ew.
That's a real law.
So if I made a patent and they wanted it, it's theirs?
It's gone and you have no legal jurisdiction to do anything about it. They say there's about roughly estimated 6,000 patents under this that have been taken. And there's literally nothing you do. The moment they have declared it theirs, there's nothing you can do about it anymore.
Like the water power cars and things like that. And like all
Correct.
the things that people have come up with. They're like, here, look what I've created and done and harnessed and tapped into. Free energy, I'm assuming is...
They've already said that if your solar panels are patented and they claim to be over 20% efficient, they will automatically take it. Anything that could disrupt the economic system, they will take it. This is in there. It's not like I'm making that up. That's like what they said in the fucking document.
Bro.
Some 1953 secrecy and bullshit act. You know?
I like that name. It's great.
Yeah.
Perfect. Fits.
Yeah, just bullshit.
And
I'm still
more bullshit on top with the cherry.
So they just don't ever patent anything. Don't ever patent.
And if you think about it,
fucking thing, dude.
too late.
Yeah.
It's theirs if you thought about it.
If you even put it out there like that to even like see how it, sorry, too late.
Yeah, their remote viewers have already seen you do it.
Yeah, it's already too late at that point. So like you just, unless you're just run of the mill shit you're building and patenting, okay, granted. But if you're trying to do some like free energy type shit, get the fuck out of here, dude. You better, don't even try.
When you know you've got something on your hands.
Yeah. In fact, if it has to do anything with energy and it's more efficient than what we're being given today,
do not tell anyone.
They will only accept same level of efficiency or less.
Preferably less.
Preferably less. In fact, if you're the same, they're probably going to investigate the shit out of
They'll
that.
hire you and then say you had an accident.
He fell out of a tree. I mean, fell out of a window.
It's always a window.
Yo, that's what I'll do a briefing of all the people
that have fallen out of windows.
Who have been.
Why do I feel like it's on a list of like 50 plus?
There was a guy on YouTube that I love. He's like my favorite science guy. I've learned a lot of physics from him in my physics world. He doesn't necessarily say electrons or particles are fake or whatever, but he's the one I found this from. He's the one that explained what a magnet really was and he helped me understand the field and how electricity versus like he went over one day. He was like, look, guys, we know. He's like, I hope you've been listening to me long enough to know you can absolutely have free energy. And let's just go over a list of he was like, this isn't even the whole list. It's just my favorite people who had real claims to free energy and were going to show it and were all killed before they could do anything with it. And then you never heard about their technology. And it's like 12 guys that he went through, person by person, named them, where they were from, what year it was, what they claimed to come up with, and how they died. And it's like, fell out of a window, committed suicide by hanging himself and shooting himself in the head.
The hanging's taking too long.
Yeah. And it's like, in the back of the head, it's like,
I'm struggling.
It's the dumbest shit ever. And so it's a car wreck, it's suicide, or it's I fell out of a window. I mean, that's how everybody seems to die. And he goes over a number of them. 12. It was like 12 or 13. And then he just stops and he's like, guys, I could do this all night. He's like, at what point do we have to stop and realize you're being offed? Don't talk about it. Don't patent it. Don't do anything with it. They've got control. J.P. Morgan started that part of it, where he created the foundation of the control and indoctrination. The 1800s were not like this. The 1900s became this. The 1900s started the Federal Reserve, central banking, the fact that you were controlling interest rates, the whole educational system, all welfare. Everything started in the 1900s. None of this shit ever started in the 1800s. This is all 1900 shit. This is all brand new shit.
Brand new.
This is all brand new. And we are just being bullied into submission. I feel it every day in the comments.
Absolutely.
Dude, it's like bullying me into being like, you're not mainstream enough. You better sheeple with us.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking asshole.
It's a CIA operative. Just as this show is.
Yo, if I'm CIA operative, man, they're getting better at this than I thought they were.
If you are.
Yeah. Because they fucking.
Because I don't even know it.
Yeah,
but like,
they
dang.
conned me into it without even knowing I'm doing it. So that's some NK Ultra shit right there. if I've ever
Yeah,
seen it.
literally.
Yeah.
No, we've been questioned whether or not we're CIA AI.
Look, the day I stop showing up on this podcast is the day you know I'm not fucking CIA. And the day you should probably ask what happened to that dude.
Yep. Pretty much.
And if there's a letter saying what I did, that letter is bullshit. Automatically, whatever that letter is, it's just bullshit.
Well,
dude.
it would probably be a murder-suicide situation.
Yeah, I'd hang myself and
you
shoot
and me. We entangled with money.
yeah,
We got mad about how much money
that's a
the
good
one of
story.
us was making and the other
right.
one wasn't.
You're
and
right.
then the whole situation happened, and then
He came over, they got heated.
Yeah.
He hit him, he shot him, and then he got upset and shot himself.
Yeah. We're like, oh wait, terrible idea. Oh no.
Yeah.
Probably in the back of the head.
In the front and the back.
Yes, 1 inch, spot on. Back. That's how I would do it with two guns at the same time.
Through the mouth and then like right through the back.
Yeah, I was trying to hit the bullets,
And I'm hanging
I was trying to
myself.
hit the bullets
Yeah.
at the same time and like see what would happen.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then like no gun will be found.
No, it's because I used my mind to
Yeah, for sure.
use the bullet.
Yes.
Like I don't need a gun
Well, before you died, while the
Guns are
bullets were in
bad.
your head, you managed to throw the gun somewhere and
Out the
trash it.
window.
Yeah. You astro projected it somewhere.
That sounds about right. I would do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, you know what's funny about this? Like we laugh about this. This is about as good as their stories really are in real life. This
Yeah.
is
I
about
mean-
how good they are, dude.
And 5 years from now, a couple months from now, if anything like that ever comes about, you know exactly what's up. And I hope we're not giving them ideas of how to do it.
Good luck, bitch.
Maybe we should throw out all the ideas out there, so then they'll be like, oh man, they already know. They know our angle at this point.
Yeah, it's funny to me. It's like they'll watch us and be like,
These twat
these
holes.
fucking redneck idiot morons. They're too stupid to do anything.
Dude, they can't even find us. We live in Antarctica.
Their show is called The Awakening.
No, it's called
Oh, yeah.
Awakening.
Shit, I can't even get my own show right. It's called Awakening.
Duh.
And then someone in the background will be like, 101? And they'll be like, shut up, Jim.
God, fucking
Fuck, Jim.
Karen.
Why is he not fired yet? Someone fire that dude. Tired of him.
Nope, he's a cousin of a brother's uncle.
Yeah. Don't you
We
know
can't
that?
fire him.
Don't you know that's a Morgan? It's Morgan the 3rd or the 5th.
Jim
or the 6th.
Morgan.
Yeah, it's Jim Morgan the 7th, dude. They're like, ah, shit.
Ugh,
Didn't know that was a Morgan.
they're everywhere.
Those fucking Morgans.
They're always here. I know a couple Morgans, but that's their first
And what a
name.
common name, too. Like, the dude just blends the fuck in, man. I'm really mad at myself for not spotting that sooner. But, like, that just shows me how hard some of this really can be,
Yeah.
where you just won't even know that you're not seeing something because that's how good they are.
Dude, 3 JP Morgans, if not more. Like, no telling.
Yo, he owned news and publications at the time too. So all he had to do was just have them continue doing the name that way and shit, and then boom, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always the father now.
That's like having the entire country in your back pocket at that point.
Yeah, that's a big part of the conspiracy that's where his conspiracy, and I guess now it's his son and his fucking, because I thought he was the one involved in this one, but apparently it's not, it's his son. But going into World War I, America was not going to get into that war originally, and Britain was thinking about trying to get out of the war because World War I is like the most worthlessly waste of a fucking war. It's so old school of like, I'm just mad and I want land and I'm just going to attack and go kill.
A bunch of big babies.
Yeah,
sounds
dude. It sounds like a bunch of old white boomer people.
Like.
But
Whiny boomers.
true story. At the time, they needed to keep, I guess the conspiracy goes into the Zionists wanted their own land for Jews, Israel. They wanted their own land, right? And they didn't have it at the time. So what they did was ultimately was they needed to keep Britain in the war to win the war. And they needed America to jump in to help Britain win the war. Because if they were to win the war, they would take over all the land that they won and have land to then give, right? So they essentially bought up all the newspaper publications. They then started promoting and propagandizing this war and promoting out there. So in America in the teens, 1913, right? 1912, 1910, they started promoting out about the war. 1914, they started promoting out even heavier. Like, we need to help. They need help. We jumped in and Britain stayed in because of it. And we jumped in mainly because of the propaganda. There was no real, they fucking bombed the Lusitania or some shit like that. But there was really not any main reason for us to go in that war.
Who sent us into that war?
That would have been Woodrow Wilson, the president? Wilson, I guess, would have been the president sent us in. But totally meaningless. It was a total meaningless war. So we get into that war. We end up winning the war, obviously, because that's what America does. We're fucking really good at just industrializing war.
Yeah.
And we just go out.
Bred for it.
Because World War
were created off of it. The revolution.
Yeah,
we started that way.
Molded by it. Even then, you could argue that the only reason we won World War II is because we outproduced everybody. Japan would destroy one of our aircraft carriers or something, and 3 more would show up the next day. And we would destroy one of theirs, and it would never be seen again.
Whoa, how did we do that? We don't even make anything in this.
That's actually a really famous story, and I'm literally going to just nail it real quick.
Graze the tit.
There's some guy, I forgot his name, that the government went to and said, we need to have you turn all of our factories into war machines. And so he went around the country and turned all of the factories into, this one's going to make boats. This one's going to make this. Dude, we were producing aircraft carriers in record fucking times. Apparently boats and tanks were just popping off the factory lines. Just every couple of minutes, we just poured them out. And we just overwhelmed everybody. We literally didn't stop. We just, anything that they destroyed, 15 more showed up the next day, and you just got hit harder, and no one else could keep up with us. We got hit pretty hard with Pearl Harbor and Midway, and we were oh shit, we're kind of, everything they did to us was just replenished over and over again instantly, and we would just go out there and just murder from it. Then no one could stop it because it was just overwhelming. You would take out a fleet and hurt your fleet, and another one would just show up to wipe it out the next day. And this is what we did on 2 fronts. We fought 2 fronts. We're the only country that fought Japan on one side of the world and fought Germany on the other side of the world at the same fucking time. We were fighting 2 wars at the same time at a global scale, and no one else was doing this, and we fucked up everybody, dude. We were just a machine.
Dude, that's crazy.
And it's because that man turned our country into a war machine.
Do we know what man this is?
Yeah, I forgot his name off the top of my head, but he's very famous. He's a very famous guy that did this, and he was very good at what he did. And he was picked for that reason. And he just, women, y'all are all going to work. We're turning all these factories into war machines, war factories, and we're going to just produce. And they were building boats and tanks just so fast, no one could do anything about it. Japan got truly overwhelmed by us. They came in strong and totally underestimated the ability to just churn it out, dude. They thought that we were going to produce like they did.
Yeah.
We didn't. We produced on a record scale you were not going to handle. World War I, we came in and we kind of showed our first amount of dominance with that. Won the war. We then turned around with Britain and just gave up that land that the Ottomans had that we just took over. So now the Ottoman Empire's gone. We have that land. Let's just give this Jerusalem area Israel. And now you have Israel. And that's kind of where it all starts to become a problem. And so that was the conspiracy behind that is like JP Morgan was a lot of the financing and owned a lot of the propaganda machines that were behind trying to push it. And the Zionist, I think JP Morgan was a Jew. And I'm pretty sure all of the people at Jekyll Island were also Jewish. This is not against Jews. It's just calling out history. It is what it is.
Right.
You know? Sure, I'm being anti-Semitic. I got it, guys. Yeah. But like, truly, I'm pretty sure he was Jewish, and I think everybody in Jekyll Island were Jewish as well, and all the people who owned the news publications were all Jewish suspected Zionists. And there was a massive Zionist push to try to get Israel, which means we got everybody in the war. And so and not to mention, you just took over the Federal Reserve and the central bank like a year before the war starts. So you've got unlimited money behind you now.
God, right.
You can just pile that shit out, dude.
Will you explain what a Zionist is?
That's the hardest thing to explain because the goalpost keeps shifting. And that's conversation for another day that gets more into religion. But Zionists, generally speaking, what I would say has been kind of looked at in mainstream, like what the definition is, I don't know. But like it's I guess a extremist Jewish person. So and I could be totally wrong, and I'm sure many people are gonna freak out when they hear me say this crap, but like mainly what I've heard is like it got started by a person who was Jewish. Now a lot of things around him were like, no, he was atheist. No, he didn't care at all. There's some truth possibly to that, but mainly the idea is it was really kind of extreme. It was about Israel and the Jewish state and the Jewish people having their own thing. And it was, I don't know if it was rooted in extremism from the start or if it kind of corruptized that way. And a lot of that came out of, God, I think I have the shit.
You have the shit?
I got to get the timelines down better on this, on the dates on things, because a lot of it strung even harder after the Nazi thing took place. Like it really, the Zionist movement.
Well, what I say is we do a part 2, gather whole bunches of information on all the things about JP Morgan.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
My mind's already pissed. So now I got to go start investigating.
I mean, right off the bat, we realized that there were 3 JP Morgans. One died in 13, one died in 43, and the other one is the company. So that's great.
Dude, JP Morgan, man. The name. Just the name.
Yep.
Like, he really was bad, and he really did do a lot of bad things, but he may not have been himself as bad as I thought. It may have been the future offsprings that were carrying the badness.
Very possible.
Wild.
Find out
Wild.
in our part 2 of JP Morgan and all the things that it is a part of, because it's not a them, they, or he, or she, or...
Let's just say it's an entity now.
It's an entity now.
Yeah. It's like JP Morgan is an entity.
That's crazy. If you enjoy this kind of content, please follow along. We're doing so many different things on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, YouTube. Just search Awakening 101 and you will probably find it.
Wait, we're a podcast?
I think so.
Oh, shit. Yo, thanks for watching.
And listening.
Come back. I didn't know I was on a podcast.
Sweet. Chaz, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, man. This is kind of cool. Can I come back?
Yeah. It's great. Come back whenever you want,
Them or me?
You.
Oh, me. Sweet.
They'll always be here.
I just thought people like listening to you, dude. I just came to talk to you.
Well,
you were like, yo, you want to come talk on this thing? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk. Sure, I like talking to you.
Feel free to comment below or shoot us a message or email us at the email that you have no idea what it is.
I'll debate you. Come on. Let's
Yeah, bring it on.
Bring that shit.
See us next time in Awakening 101. I'm so tired. I woke up at 3.
Yo, go
3:30.
Go home and go to bed.
And
I'm fucking tired. It's like I didn't wait. I went to bed at some time last night.
God, it's 11 o'clock. 10:59 on the diggy.
Dude, you're gonna be home at midnight.
I already told myself what. Yeah.
You were accepting.
I was already accepted, but like I felt myself fading. I was like, I'm not even talking anymore. Where am I?